Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. So the Champions League group stages are over. We now know the 16 teams that will be taking part in the round of 16 come next year, February. We now also know which teams also will be playing in the Europa. As usual, I am your host, Selassie. I'm going to break down the Champions League group stages, the qualified teams for you, and performances of Ghanaian players in the Champions League this season. If you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to the channel and to click on the notification bell to get more updates. So 6 games to determine who makes it to the round of 16 for the Champions League, and we finally have our 16 teams that have qualified. So from Group A, Real Madrid and PSG were the 2 teams that qualified from that group. Bayern Munich and Spurs qualified from Group B. Group C, Atalanta, who had a game yesterday to make it to the next round, they qualified along with Manchester City. Juventus and Atletico Madrid qualified from Group D. Liverpool and Napoli as well qualified from Group E. Barca and Dortmund qualified. Inter Milan, quite unfortunate there for Asamoah. Leipzig and Lyon made it to the next round in Group G, and Chelsea went on with Valencia. Ajax unfortunately missing out after losing 1-0 at home to Valencia. They could not make it to the round of 16 after making it to as far as the semi-final. They had to play the preliminary stages in the Europa fight to get back into the Champions League, and they are going straight back into the Europa League. Quite painful there for Ajax. Take you through some roundup of some of the games that I enjoyed watching in the Champions League. Dortmund took on Slavia Praha, and they needed a win and a favor from FC Barcelona to make it to the next round. Dortmund got the win they needed. They won 2-1 against Slavia Praha, and Jadon Sancho on target. That game made sure that they qualified to the round of 16. Ajax took on Valencia and needed a draw at least, or a win, to make it to the next round, which is the round of 16. Unfortunately for Ajax, they could not make it, and Valencia beat them 1-0. Chelsea needed their first home win in the Champions League to help them through to the next stage, and they got just that. In 5 attempts in the Champions League, they did it on the 6th attempt, and Chelsea beat Lille 2-1 at home to progress to the round of 16 as group winners. PSG took on Galatasaray, and they were in scintillating form. Neymar and Mbappe were on target along with Mauro Icardi as they beat Galatasaray 5-0 in the Parc des Princes. Bayern took on Spurs, and we all know what happened in the reverse fixture in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur lost 7-2 to Bayern Munich, and this time around it was just a 3-1 loss to them eventually. Tottenham have really suffered at the hands of Bayern Munich. Jose Mourinho played most of his fringe players, those who have had less playing time in the Premier League, and this time they were giving the chance to prove themselves. They didn't do bad, but it was still a 3-1 loss. Shakhtar Donetsk took on Atlanta, and Atlanta with 3 goals in the second half. VAR issues and so many more controversies highlighting that game. Atlanta eventually found the 3 goals, the 3 points they needed to make it to the round of 16. Shakhtar Donetsk had to settle for Europa League football, and Bayer Leverkusen took on Juventus, and Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo and Gonzalo Higuain were on target. It was a 2-0 win for Juventus in the end. So many pitch invaders worrying that game, and Ronaldo had too much of that to handle. Started warding off some of the pitch invaders, but that is just, by the way, the roundup of the fixtures. The draw will be held on Monday. Yes, the draw will be held on Monday, and so many records were broken. On March day 6, Ansu Fati beat a record that was held by a Ghanaian. I'll be taking you through that as we look at the performances of Ghanaian players in the UEFA Champions League. Without much ado, I'll go on to that. Napoli took on Genk, and we all know with Genk we have Ghanaian player Joseph Painstill. He played the full 90 minutes as his team was thrashed 4-0 by Napoli. Napoli went on to sack Carlo Ancelotti just a day after that game, and he was replaced by Gennaro Gattuso. Yes, you heard me right. Ancelotti was replaced by Gennaro Gattuso. It looks like Carlo Ancelotti is in talks with Everton to sign up for them. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this news? Joseph Painstill was in the squad. His side were thrashed 4-0. Red Bull Salzburg needed a win to make it to the round of 16 against Liverpool. They were in high spirits, confident, buoyant mood before the game, especially that striker, Haaland. Unfortunately for Haaland and his teammate, he was subsequently substituted in this game. Poor showing. They had so many chances in the first half, as did Liverpool and most especially Mohamed Salah. But it wasn't to be for Red Bull Salzburg. They had to settle for Europa League football next year, 2020. And Liverpool found the back of the net in 1 minute, 2 goals. Mohamed Salah and Naby Keita scoring in succession. Quick succession, I have to add. Majid Oshimeru was a 90th minute substitute for Red Bull Salzburg. His side lost 2-0, as I said. Inter Milan, they took on Barcelona. And Inter Milan, I have to say, have been a disappointed team this season in the Champions League. Coach Antonio Conte continues to have a dire season in the Champions League with the Italian clubs. With Juventus, he went unbeaten, but he just couldn't make it in the Champions League. He was lacking on so many occasions in the Champions League, and it has happened once again here with Inter Milan. They are doing amazingly well in the Italian Serie A, and with Barca's French players, this I think is not even Team B. I think this is Team C of FC Barcelona, and they could not find the answers to beating this Barcelona team. I have to say, Romelu Lukaku missed a sitter, with on a normal day you respect Lukaku to put in the back of the net, and looking at his form along with Lautaro Martinez, it was quite shocking that Lukaku and his teammates failed to find the answer against this inexperienced, in quotes, Barca side. They lost 2-1, and Ansu Fati came on as a substitute. He scored a goal that broke a record that was held by a Ghanaian player, Peter Ofori-Quay. Now, Peter Ofori-Quay was the youngest ever Champions League goal scorer at 17 years and 195 days old. Ansu Fati, 17 years, 40 days old. Record breaker, La Masia graduate. They were the 2 goal scorers along with Carlos Perez, all from the academy of FC Barcelona. They must be really proud of them. Kojo Asamoah was a doubt for this game, and rightly so. He didn't play in this encounter as his side crashed out of the Champions League into the Europa League, where Romelu Lukaku will be united possibly with Manchester United. Pun intended. Atletico Madrid, they took on Lokomotiv Moscow, and Thomas Partey had a stellar performance. He played a full 90 minutes of this encounter as his side won 2-0 after failing to beat Juventus on match day 5. They needed this win to qualify to the next round, and in that game they won 2-0. João Felix was on target for Atletico Madrid along with Felipe Luis. That's how that game ended, and Atletico Madrid have qualified along with Juventus in that group. And the final game here is Olympiacos. They took on Red Star Belgrade. Yeah, Olympiacos versus Red Star Belgrade. Red Star Belgrade has Richmond Boakye. He came on in the 65th minute. His side, however, lost 1-0 to Olympiacos, who make it into the Europa League. Red Star Belgrade are out of Europe. So that has been it for today. The draw will take place on Monday, and I'll bring you the results of the draw as and when I get them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box on the Champions League group stages. What was your best match of the group stages? Who was your best player of the group stages? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. Ghanaian players, those we'll be saying goodbye to from the Champions League, are Richmond Boakye, Genk player Joseph Painstill, Majid Oshimeru of Red Star Belgrade, and Kojo Asamoah of Inter Milan. Remaining player standing is Thomas Partey of Atletico de Madrid. It's quite unfortunate, but I'll be bringing you updates on the Champions League. Your thoughts are welcome in the comments box. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day. Bye.